Be fair.
Going back to your hypothetical future daughter, would
Uh-oh.
you would you be
Should've known that was coming.
enthusiastic about her getting her butt? She comes to your mom. I inherited the
Legs up back.
legs up back, and I want to. And maybe she even wants to do it at a younger age. What would your? How would you navigate that?
I wouldn't be enthusiastic about it.
Why?
Like, I wouldn't be like, yay, daughter, go out and do that. Because I wouldn't want her to think that that's what she would have to do. Well, first I would want to understand the reason why she wants to do it. And I just want to make sure that it's not nothing that she feels like she has to do for any ridiculous reason. But I knew this was going to come up one day because, listen, Welcome
back to Money, Marriage, and Media. Today we are back with We Need to Talk. My Brazilian butt lift isolated me. Kevin Samuel started this conversation. Another conversation we're trying to have is 1,000 subscribers. Let's go ahead and get this conversation going, though.
legs up back.
Legs up back. And I want to, and maybe she even wants to do it at a younger age. What would how would you navigate that?
Listen, it's the message right here. Black boy, tell me how you really feel. I want to love better, sleep better. Yeah, I want to feel so.
Before I got it done, when I was talking to people, like, my mom was pissed at me. She didn't. Pissed. She was so mad at me. And she was even more mad at me because I didn't tell her I was going to do it. I told her the day before. The day before my surgery.
Just in case something happened.
And I texted to her, Oh, she went off on me. But, like, I think.
Because she didn't want her to talk her out of it, maybe. I don't know. I'm just saying, that's just my guess, though.
People thought it was going to be worse than what it was because people have so many misconceptions about what can happen, like thinking that you're going to die or thinking that you're going to end up disfigured or botched. But I think when people saw the results, they were like, oh. They was
like, I get it?
Yeah, like, I get it. And then I put my before and afters and they're like, oh, okay. Now, then they really get it. And then they see that, because I know a lot of people seem to think that they're cement or that they don't move or that they see that that's not true either. And they're like, oh, now I really get it. So, since it's a natural look, if I don't tell people I have a BBL, they wouldn't even know, typically. So, but yeah, listen, I just do so much better with men now. Listen.
Well, explain, break that down.
What?
Yeah, because her doing better with men, how much you want to bet she's talking about? Well, first off, we don't know if this woman is looking to get married, because if she's not, then it doesn't really matter. But why do I get the feeling she's about to say more men are hitting me up? Of course, we know that they're just hitting her up for sex because she sexualized herself. But she did say an interesting point, though, is that if she said that if I don't tell them it's a BBL, they don't know. You know, what this directly speaks to is the image problem that we have that's associated with these surgeries, is that it makes it, in our mind, we always go to the extreme with these things because that's what's being sold to us. So that's an interesting perspective. I'd never thought about that before, that, you know, if you're going to get a BBL, it doesn't have to stand out. I still wouldn't recommend people getting one, but I mean, you know, to each his own.
Well, I don't know if it's necessarily better. Like, let's say I get more men now. Like, like,
You're attracting more.
Yeah, I attract more men now. Because it's.
The question still stands: if she's trying to get married, is she attracting men who are looking to be her husband? But I guess if you weren't getting any attention before, maybe that's why women in her position, they don't really care.
It's like you dark skinned with locks and a fat ass. Like you the top of the top. You the cream of the crop. So like, oh man. I never had experience like going out to downtown Savannah and getting in clubs and just standing by the bar and people want to buy drinks for you. Like guys just buying drinks for you. I hadn't experienced that ever before. Like I could literally just go in the bar, just stand there for a minute or be cute, do a little dance, a little something, and somebody gonna come up.
Damn.
Somebody gonna come up. Maybe even one or two guys.
That's a slow night. Two guys is slow
Hey,
night.
that's a slow night. Like, and just the type of guys.
So what we're witnessing here is a woman who has entered, through surgery, she has entered her peak sexual marketplace value. And now she's getting exposed she's getting exposed to the, she's basically, how do I put this? She's now receiving pretty privilege, whereas it wasn't there before. So she's using it to her advantage. She's trying to have fun with it. But this is where I say that we need to do a better job of raising our kids, because the attention is going to come. The question then becomes is that have we prepared our children to, before that happens, have we prepared them mentally to be able to handle it so that it's not going to waste and that they are able to find each other, men and women. Obviously, men's comes at a much older age, right? But particularly our daughters, have we raised them to be mentally tough so that they know that, okay, I have an advantage here. How am I going to use it to get what I want, which is ultimately what I want, which is marriage and family. So it'll be interesting to see where this conversation goes.
That I used to wonder, like, I wonder why they're not into me like that. These are guys that I'm not even particularly attracted to, like the manosphere calls them the Fookies and Ray Rays. Them drug dealers, gold chain, all them, them type of dudes, like, they on me bad. And I don't know if that's a good thing, but they on me bad.
No, it's not a good thing.
And when I say that,
that means
my confidence has changed. It feels like
she's got the attention of the wrong guys then. So, and ladies, for the few of you that are watching, understand what happens when you get the attention of those guys. Husbands, potential husbands, men who want to get married, they tend to go in the other direction. Because if they see them, if I'm single and I want to get married and I walk into to anywhere and I see a young lady like that, she's attractive, but she got the wrong guys around here. Nah, I'm done. I'm finna go and I'm gonna go chill by myself, or I'm gonna go and do what I came to do in there. I'm not even gonna talk to her, because the perception is that that's who you're attracting. Those are the type of guys you're looking for. I am not them, and I'm not trying to be them. So I'm gonna move on. And this is where you end up. I was just watching another live stream today with, I think it was Security Boss, where they were talking about. She had a panel and they were talking about women who say that there are no good men out here. What the real issue might be is that you're repelling the good men. You're not a good person yourself. You're not a good woman, because all you attract is the negative guys. So, I mean, I'm not saying this about this lady, no, because I don't know her. But from what she's saying is that this is a superficial conversation, because it's centered around on looks. So I'm hoping that we get a little bit more in depth. I mean, she is about to talk about some confidence here, so maybe that's going to lead somewhere. But let's see what we got.
I have the ability to, like, I don't want to say I'll walk up to any guy, but I feel like I could be more confident in going up to guys now more than I was prior. And yeah, So I don't have a very big social media presence, but I am on like all the major apps except for Twitter. And I don't post very often, but when I do, it's just like they flop, like they're, you know, and I know why, but it's like I had never experienced that. So
It's power. It feels like power.
it really is. And so it's the type of power that corrupts people.
It's intoxicating, of course. What are the cons?
So, the cons are now I don't like back then when I have no butt, when I was legs up back, 9 times out of 10 or 8 times out of 10, if a guy approached me, he probably was really trying to get to know me. Like he probably
Yeah.
he probably really was digging me. Like he probably really
He thought I was
feeling
pretty,
me.
yeah.
But now I don't know. I don't know, you know, I don't know what you want. And that hinders me a bit because now it makes me less likely to respond to guys. I don't even open some DMs now. Or because now I just get so many, it's like I'm not finna go through all this, and, you know. So it's kind of
Hence the title. It's isolating you. Yeah. And she's 100. This is 100% pretty privileged. Imagine if, imagine when you have women who go the majority of their life like this. I mean, this woman is saying it because, she got a BBL and this has happened recently. But imagine a woman who is, who has been fined since she was 16, turned 16 or 18, and now she's 25. You can kind of see where this is going, and it's like all of a sudden, we as men approach, attractive women, and then they seem to have an attitude problem, right? Well, when you're constantly being bombarded with the things that you get tired of hearing the same things over and over again, and I can understand that. But this is why the vetting process is so important, because, a strong father figure will help weed away a lot of that stuff. Oh, you want to take me on a date? Okay, cool. You got to meet my dad first. Or my uncle or my granddad or something like that. Because let's be honest here. Men value beauty. So the more attractive you are, the more value you have, the more that value needs to be protected. So as somebody who is a father, yeah. That's why the vetting process is so important. But a situation like hers, where you're getting this and it's later in life, in your adult life, this brings up an interesting a theory that I'm working on, is that what age should we be looking to move out of the house? I think that for women, it can be a tough, because most women in our community, they want to move out and get on their own and start working and all this other stuff. But is that really the best time to do that, though? Because a lot of times, we send our kids out to the wolves, not just from a dating aspect, but from a financial aspect as well. They're just not ready. So I don't know. We'll have to come back to that another time, but we got to get back to this one. So
isolated me a little bit, in a sense, and kind of made me a little bit of a trophy too. Because I think even though BBLs appear to be popular, and they may be in some cities, like bigger cities, Miami, Atlanta, probably every other ass you see is fake. But in like smaller cities, they're not that big. They're not that, And a lot of people see like the main it girls, the main it rappers, Lotto, insert any other ones that have these fake bodies, and it's like the guys want to know what that's like if they were to get one of those types of girls, and you're the next best thing. So that's why it kind of makes you a trophy in a sense. Like he want to know how it moves, like, or to be able to say, oh yeah, like I know what it's like if I experienced a fake ass before, you know.
But then the question then becomes is once he's had that, what happens to your value?
So
How would you feel about a man who's got his body done?
I can't judge. Wait, y'all. Wait, what can y'all do?
Chest implants, ab implants.
Oh yeah, I can't judge. I got my body done. Who am I to say that you couldn't have yours done? And if it looked
hair
like,
pieces,
yeah,
toupees and
as
stuff.
long as you ain't botched, I can't judge. That wouldn't be fair.
Going back to your hypothetical future daughter, would
Uh-oh.
you would you be
Should've known that was
enthusiastic about her getting her butt? She comes to you, Mom, I inherited the
Legs up back.
legs up back, and I want to, and maybe she even wants to do it at a younger age. How would you navigate that?
I wouldn't be enthusiastic about it.
Why?
Like I wouldn't be like, "Yay, daughter, go out and do that," because I wouldn't want her to think that that's what she would have to do. Well, first I would want to understand the reason why she wants to do it. And I just want to make sure that it's not nothing that she feels like she has to do for any ridiculous reason. But I knew this was gonna come up one day because, listen, my child probably is gonna inherit legs up back, and all I can tell them is,
You should start dating big booty guys. Give her a fighting chance. Date running backs, fullbacks.
because you might get it from your grandma on the other side. Because if you get it from a pivot vehicle, get it from me. But I already have a game plan, right? So what I'm probably gonna do, I think that if maybe I was involved in athletics, maybe at a younger age, and I had never gotten the ability to get as big as I was, that my body wouldn't have been as contorted as it was. Like I was way bigger than I was supposed to be, and that was causing a lot of issues for me. So maybe if I can help her, like from a young age, to be right
Posture.
in her
leg strength.
in her adulthood, maybe that won't even be a thought in her mind.
That's an
But
interesting
if
point.
it still is, it's nothing I could tell her because I've done it myself. So how could I turn around to you and be like, no, you can't do that? All I could do is pass down the research that I've done for her, talk with her, help her, try to evaluate, make sure that it's not like you're not trying to get it because a guy told you need to get it, or to try to keep a boy's interest in you. Make sure it's what she really wants to do for her, and that it's what's really going to fulfill her, and I can just.
Here's the problem with what she's saying. You just spent all that time talking about how she's doing so much better with guys. So it makes you question, okay, well, is that the reason? Did you get it for guys' attention? Most women do, right? Because if you ask them about it, they'll come with this rhetoric about, well, all the guys like the girls on Instagrams with the BBLs. Again, if all you're looking for is male attention, you're not looking for a husband, you're not looking to get married, then, I would understand that. But if you are, those women aren't on Instagram. They're not getting married. It's the natural women that tend to get married to the men who are looking to be husbands once the compatibility test is passed. See, a lot of times we forget about that. It's just, we want that short answer that says that, well, yeah, this type of woman gets married. Yeah, okay, but the people still have to be compatible for the guy to even ask. I think a lot of times we skip that step. I keep saying this: fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive, childless. The average man is looking for 3 to 4 out of the 6. The problem comes in and is that which 3 to 4 is he looking for? Because each man is different. They're going to assert a different value to each of those categories. And your job as the woman is to figure out, which of your three out of the 3 or 4, which ones are you excelling at, and what man is looking for those attributes in a wife. Yeah, the good news is that, like I said, it's 3 to 4. So, and then depending on where a man is at in his journey, in his life's mission, they may change too. So yes, it gets very complicated, and a lot of times this is why a lot of women will give up looking, because they want the guy, fully assembled and ready when they find each other. And then they never want him to they always want him to change after they've gotten married. And it's like, if the guy's fully built, there's not going to be that much more dramatic changes after that. So I think we need to do a better job of number one, we need to do a better job of raising our kids, and in this case, our daughters, so that they're more prepared for the type of relationships that they want. But the other thing is that it speaks directly to what she's talking about. We need to do a better job of raising them up mentally, so that they mature faster, so that if they enter in a scenario like this woman, whether the girl has had surgery or not, that she is ready for the amount of attention that she's going to be drawing in, so that she's not getting drunk with power and then just end up wilding out and going crazy, and then all of a sudden after the wild years, after the hot girl summer, expecting a man of value to come just wife her up just because. To me, that just reeks of a lack of maturity. It's like, you made your bed, you need to lie in it. But let's keep going. We're almost done here.
Just try my best to just help her do it the safest way as possible, but I probably would try to talk her out of it a little bit. And
why? Talk more about that. Why would you want to talk her out of it? Like, why? Because you said that was your reflex.
Because like I was saying, like even if you're
gonna try and talk her out of it, but remember what she said back at the beginning of the video. I didn't let my mom know until it was time, and even then, it came in the form of a text message.
You're 100% healthy, something could still go wrong. And like, I've only had this booty for 6 months. I don't even know if something could go wrong for me, 10 years down the line or however. So I wouldn't want to pass that down to her. But honestly, my best line of defense would just to make sure that I can always keep her right from as early on as possible, so that she never develops the insecurities that I developed. Or maybe like make sure I can get her counseling so that she can deal with certain things that I had to just deal with on my own and just talk myself out of, or just work through on my own. So, but I couldn't tell her no. Especially if she's an adult, she 18 or younger, still in my house, that might be able to have a little bit of authority over her. But when she's an adult, I gotta let her do what she gonna do. And if she is 100% sold on it like I was, I know I'm not gonna be able to talk her out of it. So I could just help her do it the best, safest way possible.
Yeah. I'm guessing her opinion would change. Opinions usually change after you have a child. You got a kid or two, that mindset totally changes. It has to, because when you're raising kids, no, you're not doing that. As crazy as it sounds, that becomes second nature, because kids don't know, they don't have the benefit of your experience, and that becomes more evident as you raise them. With smaller things, when things that happen every day, that becomes real apparent. So when there's a big decision like that, yeah, most parents want to step in and say, no. So, I mean, even at 18, I still wouldn't. No. The answer is no. Now, after that, that leads us right back into that question about, at what age should we be trying to help our kids move out? Because if you're still up under my roof, then you still need to be living by my rules, but the benefit comes with that means that you're still under my protection. So instead of me just, sending you out here into the world with no protection, the best way I can protect you is under my roof. And obviously we'd have to, you know what, we're going to have to say that for another topic, because this is a high level conversation, because, we get to see, that pretty privilege basically can be bought and sold, right, in the forms of cosmetic surgery. But it addresses the issue of what happens if we don't prepare our daughters for what happens next after that. The amount of male attention and the amount of power that comes with pretty privilege. Like, what happens if they're not prepared for it? Well, I think we know, even though we never talked about it here, we know what happens. Hot girl summer. So she did mention some preventative measures here, which I'm thankful for that, is that, if we do a better job of raising our kids, there's a chance that they're not going to develop the same insecurities that we did growing up. So that was a powerful conversation. We'll definitely consider that high level conversation, because she had to address the host Alan did a good job of peeling back some layers here to address it, because ultimately I think that one of the ways that we get better at raising our kids is when we have to think about these things before we have kids. It may and this conversation may have talked her out of having kids. I don't know, but because like I said, we don't know if she's looking for marriage or not. But guys, great conversation. I'm gonna say goes to the next time. Peace.